My all-time favourite thing to make has to be character designs, particularly because I don't like drawing backgrounds or poses or literally anything else. So I was thinking, like, I've seen a lot of designs for 20 Jashlings, and I don't have any of my own. And I love making designs, so I put two and two together, which has now made me make this video, because I have no content otherwise. So you are going to watch me draw 5 designs of songs that I like that I thought were made fairly recently, but they're all well over a year ago. I haven't listened to his newer music in about 6 months. Starting off with that handsome double power hour, I tried to take some inspiration from my old design, but I ended up not doing much with it. Because he just looks so simple. He has one base colour, there honestly just wasn't a lot overall I could do with that, which is why I was the most excited to draw this one because I wanted to see my improvement, but you will be the judge of that. I did want to go with the common design trope of giving him these blocky square sunglasses that replicate the colours of the official album cover. I think the album colours in general are so lovely, they're so bright and loud and very easily recognisable. Whenever I see someone else design this power hour, I always know it's him because of the colours. And I guess the devil horns they accompany him with, I just think overall he's rather iconic and I wanted to show that in this design. I gave him this purplish, pinkish skin mainly by accident, but I quite like it and I think it ties the rest of the base colours together quite nicely. I also gave him a bag, mainly because of the Savages animation I did a while back where he had this like shopping cart, and that shopping cart or like bags, I'm not sure, and then there's like items in the back. I feel like he'd be keeping trinkets there, I guess. I also tried to implement the squares in there and his earrings and sunglasses, basically anywhere I could to give him a nice pop of colour. Speaking of colours, this background was by far the hardest part of this entire design because I was trying to draw those 4 coloured squares again and it just didn't look nice, but I kept on trying because I really wanted it to be there, but I gave up eventually because I gave up eventually because it would look far too cluttered and the focus should be on Devil himself. I think the fan name for him is Devil, but I might be really wrong, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just continuing to add on extra stuff to him. I gave him a tail and I made the end look like those flower patterns on his jacket. I also gave him these like flared trousers and high heels and a boob window, of course, to replace the necklace I originally gave him. I think I just wanted him to look like he goes to clubs and gets drunk out of his mind all the time. I think I drew him well. This is technically another character I've redesigned because looking at the reference images, there is old art. And originally I was going to animate Mayday ages ago, but I gave up pretty quickly and those are the only 2 images I've got from my attempt. I did want to take heavy inspiration from it though, because I thought the whole grey chalk thing that was going on with his design was really cool, so I had to use a different brush than usual, which was a challenge. The brush I used was really textured and like chalk or crayon would like leave small holes in the lines I drew that couldn't be covered up without changing the brush, so it really just wasn't fun. Though I don't remember a lot of what would go on in the animatic, I do remember the balloon he's holding being a huge part of it. I think it came from a lyric? I don't know. But I think they were like some metaphor for Mayday's thoughts and feelings that he couldn't let out himself. I also think he was in this really large hole, and the only way to get out was to use these balloons, but they would keep on popping when he got close. I don't think it makes much sense anymore, but I had him carry around a balloon anyways because the colours in it look really interesting, and the fact they shine on him and stuff, I think it just looks pretty cool. I can remake a meaning to it later or something. Also, I did utilise a link between Fine and Mayday. I honestly think that they'd be the same person, just at stark different points in life, which is why Mayday is wearing this jacket and that hat with sunglasses. I thought making the sunglasses rose-ish, like rose-tinted glasses, would be all symbolic or something, but I actually don't think it works too well. But it does match the balloon, so I did keep it. I also copied the background from one of the reference images. It took a bit for some reason. I'm really struggling with backgrounds for these designs, and I don't know why. It's not even the center focus. I don't like leaving such empty space everywhere either, though. I did also forget to flip the canvas, so I'm desperately trying to fix him from looking off. I think overall he looks quite nice, though I did have to draw him a bit different to how I usually draw things, but I think it helps him overall. I was very excited to draw 20XX2, as I'm trying to get into drawing different body types more to make my characters more diverse. So when I was drawing him, I was thinking I need to buff him up. This is the perfect opportunity. I need to inflate him up like a balloon. Truthfully, I'd like to say all the characters I'm drawing today look like they have differing body types to some degree. The only thing that's similar is their hair colour. Going into colouring, it was actually really difficult to make him have that blue tint like in the reference image. I didn't just want to copy the colours from there because I was worried he'd look like he had genuine blue skin, like what I did to Devil, and I knew inhuman skin wouldn't suit him at all. But I did give him body hair because body hair is the best thing you can ever add to a character. I will die on this hill. And just began adjusting things about to make everything look better. I actually really like what I did with his hair. It is long and wavy and beautiful and I love it. So I'm also taking major inspiration from the music video. I had the idea originally in my sketchbook to make 20XX or 8-bit like because the song reminded me of that pixel art kind of style. I couldn't do it just because I couldn't be bothered to download another app and my tablet was running low on storage, so I just had to improvise. I'd personally characterize him as this really strong both mentally and physically and a confident type of character. Great sense of self, just showcases the morals of the actual song portrays in his everyday life. Whilst designing him, I thought about the connections these song Jashlings would have with each other, and all I could really think of was that him and Devil definitely do each other's makeup. I don't make the rules, I just think that would definitely 100% happen. That is all I have when it comes to lore. Also, the guy in the corner I'm drawing is just a stupid baby version of him. I've got baby versions of all the characters I'm doing, just for some reason I didn't record the ones for May and Devil. They're here. I think overall they're both really cute, and I love them to bits. This is technically a redo of the forest for the trees if you look at the reference I used, but I didn't like it and the time-lapse was basically unsalvageable thanks to the glitch IVS Paint has that makes the time-lapse go on even after you turn the device off, so the time-lapse was 36 hours long compared to the 2 hours I had for the other ones! Yay! I drew Red fully intending to draw the other two from the music video later, but I didn't. Which is quite annoying as I honestly had good ideas. Which is why you should smash that like button and subscribe for more videos because I want to talk about them too, but I don't know if you'd want me to talk about them too, if that makes sense. Anyways, after drawing this I thought it would be a better idea to try and combine the 3 outfits in the music video into one character. I was wrong, and that is all I will say about it. I drew the fat baby variant drinking Red Bull and had the full scale one just holding one instead before going into colouring. It was actually really easy colouring this one, because of the reference image having all the colours I needed. I was a bit worried that drawing red would be as big as a pain as it was the first time, but it was quite nice and wasn't too much hassle. I think the worst part of this was all the minor adjustments I had to do, but that's only because I refuse to work in layers like a normal person, so I am putting this burden on myself. I then coloured the little guy, which was hard for some reason. The Red Bull can having that square pattern was really messing me up. Kind of like another square pattern that looked deceivingly easy, that I also struggled with. Regardless, I managed and continued adding details. I quite like the fact that he's on a crate because he's too small to drink the can normally, and I've just been adoring drawing these square island characters recently, especially ones with eyelids. I just think it looks really cool. I don't know what to say because this section is nearly over and I'm just adding more details, but yeah, I think he's neat. You get to watch the rest in silence now. There Ain't No Rest for the Wicked is the final one I'm doing. This was mainly because of one of my friends, Apollo, really liking him. Hi Apollo! So I wanted to give him a proper design. I was really hyped as I wanted to give him this long cape, and drawing capes are honestly my favourite thing. I was aiming for this cowboy kind of vibe, and I wanted to make his hair pretty short compared to his height. I wanted his design to primarily focus on said cape as well, to make an interesting silhouette. It was honestly all about the cape. I also gave him a gun, obviously, and aimed for that brownish, orangish, sunset kind of colours. I also dirtied up his trousers and sleeves with that grey dust because I thought it would look cool. I gave him gloves that were also in a similar state and decided that those orange/yellow things that were dangling off his hat in the reference image would instead be applied to the cape, because I thought it made his face really cluttered and I love the cape. I then redid his face because I barely touched on it for the sake of his silhouette. I quite like his stance. It makes him look a little laid back, and I was honestly getting annoyed with myself because most of the poses look a little samey. I don't know, my default pose for anything is to make a character put at least one hand on their hip, which does not help now that I realize I've done the same thing here, but had him hold something. It's like a special evolution of putting the character's hands behind their back, because you're only drawing half the hand anyway, so it feels a little bit like a cheat. And I use that as a crutch so many times it feels silly, which I think is really obvious even if I didn't say anything. I'm now just adding more details, which includes changing the brim of the hat, which was difficult for some reason, and adding the square for the background and writing the initials, boring stuff, before drawing the baby version on a separate frame. Apollo wanted me to give him a huge gun, so I definitely obliged. I find it so fun drawing them, it fills empty space so easily, and he just looks adorable. After finishing him, I adjusted the art a little more before finishing. I really like him. They are finally done! I put them side by side for a height comparison and, hello, hi, yes, hi, hello. I said I put them side by side for a height comparison. Thank you. I think the best part that came from making these were honestly just the babies, because I got pins for them! I love them to bits. You should all totally commission me because your money will be used for amazing, mature, responsible things, like buying Johnny Jash themed baby pins. I am so happy with them. This was really fun. I hope you had as much fun as I did making this. I hope the rest of your week and the next week goes wonderfully. Okay, bye!